Thank you for joining us live here in the KEXP studios. I'm Cheryl Waters, and I am so delighted to be here with one of my favorite bands of all time. Over half my life, I've been a fan of this band, Tengo. How are you today?
Pretty good.
You look great.
We look great. Oh, good.
Let's see how you sound. Looking good is good and important, but you've got a brand new album out called This Stupid World, and you just started the tour for that, so you're newly playing these songs for an audience, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Why don't you give us a few tracks, and then we'll catch up, and it's Tengo live on KEXP.
One, two.
Tell you how it's gonna be. I don't have what you want from me. I wanna fall out of time. Reach back, unwind. Before it gets too loud, or it knocks me out, I'm out of time. Every day it hurts to look. I'd turn away if only I could. I wanna fall out of time. Time before it comes to that. What's in my mind? It's so hard to react in kind. I wanna fall out of time. Turn back, unwind. Before the whole thing stops, before the hammer drops, for out of time.
You're listening to Yola Tango live on KEXP. That was a song from the new album, This Stupid World.
So is this. This is called Aselestine.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Celestine, the TV's on, I see your face. You look the same. The camera moves, the laugh track laughs, you are pause. I cry for us. One day, walking on leaves and snow. Aselestine, where are you? The drugs don't do you, but you said they did. The clock won't tick. I can't predict. I can't sell your books. Though you ask me to. Walking on leaves and snow. Alone again. What time between? I wait for you. It's not the same. The pin into the map, and I find you, Aselestine.
Let's go back to our childhoods.
Let's be undecided. Let's take our time. Sooner or later, we will know our mind. We'll be on the outside, and we won't care. Cause we're together, and that's somewhere. There's a big day coming, right on my highway. wake up the neighbors, let's turn up our lamps. The way that we used to without a plan. We can play a Stone song, sing on a fence. It'll sound pretty good till I forget how it ends. There's a big day coming about a mile away. There's a big day coming, I can hardly wait. I woke up early, I couldn't go back to sleep. 'Cause I had been thinking of where it would lead. So I made you wake up, said let's take a walk. I wanna hold your hand, we don't have to talk. There's a big day coming, about a mile away. There's a big day coming, I can hardly wait. Well, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait. Well, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait.
You're listening to Yola Tango live in the KEXP studios. That was an oldie and a goodie. Big day coming from the
You really
Painful
don't
album.
like that dead air, do you?
Or you should avoid it. But you can fill it with a little tuning.
All right, well, this is our last song, and this is something, our band's almost 40 years old, and we've never had the opportunity to say this before. This is the title track from our new record, This Stupid World.
Cry from pain. we see, just as you don't but do. Repeat is needed, repeat again. This stupid world is killing me. This stupid world is all we have. Staring in disbelief, out of body, out of place. Blood on your fingers, but we're carefree. Can't hear a word you say. Reach for the skies. Better not be none, and none will be. This stupid world is killing me. This stupid world is all we have. This stupid world is killing me. This stupid world is all we have.
Yola Tango live on KEXP. I love the jammy, blissed out vibe of that song and the vocal interplay there. Very nice. Thank you so much. So great to have you here. The new album, This Stupid World. I guess I'll just jump right in there with your new title track there. It feels like the album title seems to suggest, at least in part, that it was inspired by the pandemic and or the aftermath. I mean, how much did the pandemic inspire this band creatively?
Well, I think we, we try to react. I mean, we're just living in the world. So, I mean, I don't think we're thinking specifically about the pandemic or anything else. We're just responding to what's around us in a kind of natural way without, that's a toughie. It's early for that question.
Well, actually, as I ask it, it's hard not to think about that time where musicians weren't able to get out there and perform for an audience, which is something that they do for much of their time. But I do look forward to a time when that's not such a topic of conversation. And even though I don't want to talk about it, it's hard not to, because it did have such an impact on the way the art form was created and you were able to express yourselves. And it was just such a global experience for people. And I know that a lot of people reacted to it differently in terms of how they were able to create music a lot of people had albums coming out then and had to look at a new form of delivering that music to their audience. So it is a hard question, and I'm sort of tired of asking it, but it's still so fresh.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's an element to, this isn't exactly your question, but when we were getting together, when it was complete lockdown, it was pretty special. You know, it was very intimate, just the three of us. And then we made this record, and we decided we're going to just keep it like that. We don't need anyone to come in. And it was just three of us. We never had any other people involved. And I think the intimacy of it and the power of that feeling, it was inspired probably from the fact that we had to do that for a while. And then we just kind of enjoyed that privacy and time together.
With all the albums that you've done over many, many years, you've definitely worked with some amazing people who helped you in the studio. Was this the first time, these most recent releases, that you did everything yourself?
I guess with the exception of like the soundtrack work and stuff that we've done, which we did on our own, unless a director was popping by to tell us to do something else that we weren't currently doing. Yeah, this was the first time that we did from start to finish, did everything ourselves, with the exception of mastering,
Right.
which I don't want any part of that. Only wizards can do that.
As Georgia said, you did it by necessity, but is it something you think you'd like to continue to do? Obviously, the results were wonderful.
Well, we didn't actually do it by necessity. By the time we got around to finishing, we could have gone somewhere to mix it as we did There's a Riot Going On, or even to record. I mean, we did it out of comfort and enjoyment of what we were doing and what we were hearing. It wasn't. We didn't have to.
You don't have to do anything. This band has established a reputation of creating some of the most adventurous, exciting, and consistently amazing music over many, many decades, and you've endured countless changes in the music industry, but I get a feeling that you haven't really changed the way you do things that much. Would you say that's true?
I would say it's true that we, as you said, we don't have to do anything and we do what we want for the most part.
That's a great thing to say after so many
It's nice.
years.
It's a good way to be. Well, for us anyway.
Well, This Stupid World came out last week, and you played, I think, the first show on your tour last night here in Seattle. And I kind of feel like, from what I hear from musicians, that songs have a couple of births. There's that time you create and record the record, and then the time that you play it for the first time in front of a live audience. How did that feel last night?
It's pretty sweet. I totally recommend it. It was awesome. I love playing in the city. I love playing in that venue, on that stage, and I love playing together in front of people, and it felt really great.
The audience, I heard that you went out and talked to some of the audience, signed some records, Ira.
You know, that's been kind of a big pandemic change. It's something I like to do, and even last night I wasn't planning on doing it until someone asked if I was going to, and I was like, I guess I could. You know, it's, you know, we're all, you know, so try not to infect me, good people in Seattle.
Yeah, you've got a long tour ahead of you. Don't do it on the first night. Well,
yeah, as I said to somebody else, you know, we're not one of those bands that can afford to have 3 people not show up for the show, like you know, the E Street Band. So it's we've got no margin for error.
when you kicked off Big Day Comin' in that last set, I thought to myself, oh, a hit. And then when I think of you as a band, you know, there's a show, at a show, your fans want to hear the hits, just in general, along with the new music. But you have so many hits. I mean, you don't really have...
Guilty.
You don't have... I mean, do you have 1 or 2 songs that you play at every show? I think you must not.
No.
I mean, except we will there will be songs from the new record that probably get played at most, if not all, the shows. But of the old ones, no.
Yeah, that doesn't count because that's the new record. But yeah, I mean, I think that's rare. I would say the majority of bands for the entirety of their career have songs that they have played at every single show.
Right, yeah.
I guess that's a good problem to have. You have so many hits, but I mean, when you get to that part of the show where people start yelling out the songs they want to hear, that must just get a little overwhelming.
Well, we actually, I mean, it's nice of you to say that, but I would argue that we don't have any hits at all. And there's songs that are more popular than others, but there isn't, there's no like single song that, if we don't do it, people start throwing garbage on the stage.
Yeah.
So
Like if like Right Said Fred went out and just did 2 hours of like deep cuts and like, covers and didn't do I'm Too Sexy, there would be some problems,
Yeah,
I think.
that would be a problem for sure. Well, you are not too far out from those amazing Hanukkah shows. And when I think about those 8 nights, it must be nice to go home and sleep in your bed for 8 nights in a row of touring, but it just sounds incredibly rewarding, but a little nuts.
Yeah.
A heroic
That's kind of you.
adventure to be sure. I mean, how long does it take to plan those shows, and is it all on you all?
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is
it's
kind of
mostly we have people helping us. I mean,
Yeah.
Sure.
our crew work like crazy. I mean, they show up so early, and they're working at the end of the night. We have long days, and they have longer days. There's people behind the scenes helping with stuff. I mean, we do a lot, but it takes a village.
Yeah, right. And then because we're switching out songs so much every set, they can't just set up one thing and it'll just be, because every day is a different scenario. So everyone's like constantly changing and working, and yeah.
Yeah. And no repeats of songs at
Oh, at Hanukkah,
8
yeah.
nights straight, no repeats.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that's too hard for you all with all those songs. But I just got to think that you have to put so much planning in it. But given that maybe at that time of year, different people are in town, do you get a lot of last minute like ideas? We just found out
Sometimes.
someone's in town.
Yeah.
Let's throw them on.
We have
Yeah.
that. We did do that
That's right.
actually.
We also had a cancellation between sound check and the show.
Right.
One of our performers tested positive.
Oh no,
So it's
that'll get the blood pumping.
Yeah, yeah.
was-
Yeah, that
whoops.
was exciting. Yeah.
But it is remarkable, and the experience of doing it makes all of it worth it. And but part of the preparation, and this is something I think we've learned a lot over the years, is we do a lot of preparing, but then there's things we've come to trust we don't have to prepare for, and that when last year, Steve Shelley from Sonic Youth sat in with us, and so we had 2 drummers for the whole show, and we barely ran. We ran through some songs with him, but not all of the ones we did. And at some point he was like, I'm not sure I know what I'm doing. I was like, that's great. We know you don't. Like we're putting you in this position. We know what we're doing, and we're ready for it just to happen the way it's going to. It's not, and it does. And if not every song we do is going to make the live album, that's okay too. It's an experience, and usually a good one.
Well, you just started your tour, and it'll take you through almost the beginning of the summer. And after you've had a chance to catch your breath and get some rest, any exciting things on the horizon?
I think we're only spoken for through May, or till May. I don't know. Something will come up. Something will happen, I'm sure.
Something always does, right?
Yes.
Well, This Stupid World is the new album from Yola Tengo out on Matador Records. Thank you for sharing music with us today here in the KEXP studios. It is always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's fun.
You've got it tuned to KEXP. You can find us at 90.3 FM in the Seattle area, streaming worldwide at kexp.org. We're listener supported. We thank you so much for making wonderful sessions like this possible. You can learn more about us at kexp.org. And if you feel so inclined, you can make a contribution in support of great live music and music discovery. You've got it tuned to KEXP Seattle. Discover new music at listener-powered kexp.org.